Hi, thank you for tuning in to D-ConneXion TV. I'm Donzale Powell with D-Connex LLC. And today I've got Katie Morrell and she's going to be going over the real estate industry with her. Super excited to have her. So, Katie, if you could just first kind of introduce yourself so that we know who you are, kind of your background, what you've done.
Okay, so I'm Katie Morrell, like you said, and I've been in the real estate industry for 18 years now.
Wow.
Mostly living in East Tennessee, but we made the trek to Nashville in 2017 and have loved every minute of it.
Good.
I am the CEO of Morrell Property Collective, and currently with the market being so crazy, we are growing. So it started out with my husband and I, and now we're a team of 6.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good. So real quick, give me some landmarks. So in East Tennessee, before you moved here, what types of things were going on there, or what were the differences between there and Nashville?
Okay, so I was in a town called Bristol.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, the northeast tip of Tennessee. And it's a really interesting place because you have Bristol, Virginia, and Bristol, Tennessee.
Okay.
And the firm that I had was Realty Executives, and we were on the Bristol, Tennessee side. But in order to sell real estate on the Virginia side, of course, you have to be licensed in both states. So it was a great learning experience. And as far as the difference, well, the population, for one.
Yeah.
You've got 895 people a week moving here, and I think there was like 0.01% moving into Bristol every year.
Gotcha.
So it was very hometown feel, beautiful, gorgeous lakes, rivers, mountain. But as far as like the energy and the pace here, it's, a lot different.
A lot of people feel the energy. I've got some people that have moved from like either the Washington, D.C. area and there's a lot going on there too.
Yep.
So it's not that it's slow there. It's just the energy. They're just like, it's just something about Nashville. So we take people in, it's okay. I always make these jokes. I don't like the traffic now that, still I feel like
trade-off.
A lot of people, it is. People are coming with different ideas that, Nashvillians haven't been used to. So I welcome it. So I've had a discussion, like a panel discussion before on the show, and it was for real estate, but I just feel like it's time to visit it again, just because things are changing so rapidly. Obviously, we've dealt with COVID and had that fluctuation kind of going on there, but Nashville continues to be a hot spot. So I was like, I feel like we need to talk about it again. So I'm glad that you were able to join. You already talked a little bit about how long you've been doing this. So 18 years, that's pretty experienced and, being well-versed. Love that. So can you describe kind of a typical day for you? Like, what are some of the things that you're doing on day to day?
Sure. So it varies, of course, every day. Right now it's, I wake up with my hair on fire. But with so much excitement, I can't even tell you. I mean, I love what I do, and it's so much fun getting to wake up and do what you love every day.
Absolutely.
So typical day, I wake up, I have a time block usually. So on Mondays, like I'll, call off my buyers and sellers, check in for the week. Then we'll have a Monday morning meeting with the team. And Mondays are like our good news and gratitude day. And so we all express our good news and gratitude. And then we goal set on what we're going to do for the week. So we'll discuss open houses. We'll discuss what's coming soon. We'll discuss marketing. And then we'll set a plan to execute those things through the week. So Mondays are really tied up with the team mostly. And then the afternoon we go into showing property or helping people, write contracts or whatever the task is.
So with a team the size of yours, I'm pretty sure you all know each other very well. It should be, I would think, fairly intimate, just because it's a small field. Like everyone knows, everyone's strengths, weaknesses, and everyone's kind of able to kind of play a part. Is that correct?
It's true. Everybody kind of finds their own lane. We all do business a little differently, and that's what you want in a team. You don't want people really competing within the team.
Yeah.
So you give everyone a lane to run with.
Yes.
I've got one agent that we just hired who's going to work East Nashville for us. I've got one that I hired from California who's servicing all of our California clients. We've got so many people moving here from California. It would blow your mind.
Yeah.
In New York and Chicago. And then I have one agent who has 4 kids. And so she really services families and helps people, with schools, figuring all of that out. And then I have a young agent who graduated from UT who really helps, like with the first-time home buyer.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I like how you kind of broke that up. I also really like how you you broke things up, especially during the day. And I like that you kind of circle back around to the gratitude and the goals. So always trying to keep that, to me, positive environments help people to be able to, of course, function properly and be able to execute. And you're excited about all the other work. Even though it's work, it's like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it never feels like work. And it's so important to be positive.
Absolutely.
And everything is solution driven in our business, So being positive, solution driven, and just excited that you get to do whatever you set your goals to do. There's no limit in this industry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can only imagine. So explain to me kind of your current take on the growth that is happening in Nashville. You kind of alluded to it earlier with the people that are moving here from a lot of the major cities. So how do you feel like you and your company play a role in that? And then just in Nashville in general, like what's your take on how long is it going to be like this? I just want your inside scoop on that.
So my crystal ball is broken.
Okay.
But I do feel like we have a really long runway in Nashville. I feel like, talking about all the synergy coming to this town, you've got Oracle who announced 8,500 jobs, which is a state record. Big deal. You've got Amazon, you've got Alliance Bernstein. We're not just medical. We're not just music. We're so many things. And I think that's what people are drawn to. Yeah. It's a very collaborative town, So as far as how long do I think it's going to last, the inventory is so low. The market is so good and the interest rates are so good. I don't know, a long time.
Yeah.
People get nervous and they're like, gosh, this feels like reminiscent of 2008 where the prices are really exploding. But no, it doesn't at all. In fact, those years where we had a lot of inventory, we had too much inventory.
Right.
So totally different deal. And I think we have a long runway and a lot to grow.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Very interesting. I guess, so obviously I've heard people talk about that it's a buyer's market. That's, the buzzword for us that aren't in the industry necessarily. And that it's really hard right now for people to either be able to get a house or when they identify one, it's gone before they're even able to put something in, or if they do put something in, somebody put even more down and so they don't get it. So can you kind of explain what that even means and how that works as far as the buyer's market and how people can try their best to have a shot at getting a house if they're really trying right now?
So 2 things.
Okay.
Really, it's a seller's market because our inventory is so low.
Okay.
As far as buyer's market, you can still consider it somewhat advantageous for a buyer because the interest rates are so low. But sellers have the upper hand.
Okay.
They really do right now because I was just looking at stats. We're down 65% in inventory.
Wow.
I've never seen it like this in my whole entire career. So finding properties is like you've won the golden ticket. If you can get a listing, you've won the golden ticket. I mean, listings are key right now. And so as far as working with a buyer trying to get that listing, they're going to have to think about taking away some contingencies, not making it contingent on appraisal. Maybe doing a pass-fail inspection, not having it contingent upon inspection right now. depending on the property, I'm writing a lot of escalation clauses right now. So you're writing, over asking for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And these properties are disappearing, in 24 hours. So if you can forgo inspection, if you can forgo appraisal, and if you have cash, you're king.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I know that for a lot of the people that are moving here, especially like we were talking about from the larger cities, the environments that they're coming from, they were already paying a lot wherever they were.
Mm-hmm.
So to them, it
This is
feels like
nothing.
it's a reasonable. It's almost like, wow, I've hit the jackpot. This is the cheapest house that I can find.
Mm-hmm.
However, versus the natives that are here that are like, these prices have gone through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
What am I gonna do? So, like, say if we're one of the local people that
Mm-hmm.
are just like, I still want housing. I don't want to leave Nashville or have to move too far out
Mm-hmm.
to where some of the prices are better. Do you have any suggestions on different little things that people can do? And I understand it probably won't happen overnight, but
Mm-hmm.
just preparing them to get to a place to where they might be able to kind of jump in at some point and be able to get something.
As far as buying, it's a little tougher. As far as having the listing, you're going to be able to get the price you've always wanted right now.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like you said, where am I going to go? Because is it going to be a lateral move?
Right.
So, and people are like, well, should I stick it out? It's going to plateau. It's going to dip. Again, the crystal ball is broken. And I do think the runway is long. I think we're going to continue to see an uptick in pricing. Back to people moving here and just paying, what you're asking. I had some California buyers ask me last week. I was telling them what the property taxes were on this particular property we were looking at. And they go, oh, is that monthly? It was for the whole year. And
oh my goodness.
So it is a big difference. And that's why you're seeing all of these people, moving here. Because we do have the synergy. We have a great city with so many things. And the housing here is affordable to them. But I do worry about pushing out the Nashvillians and possibly the artists.
Oh, yeah. I've done another show and we had talked about artists as well. So I definitely, that makes sense. I guess, could you talk to me about price ranges if you can? Obviously, we have a lot of different pockets here around Nashville. So you've got downtown, Belmead, you've got Antioch, you've got people out in Murfreesboro. There's just all of these different areas. So can you give me kind of some typical common average price ranges depending on the area and even if there's certain places that maybe a new home buyer or maybe someone that might need a little bit more assistance in just getting into something, maybe some areas that might be a little bit more cost effective or make sense for them to try versus another.
I really think Creve Hall and Bellevue, Antioch are some really great areas for the first-time home buyer. Even the Nations. Those are they still feel affordable to me. And, nice properties that are going to increase, good investments. Green Hills, you're looking between $800,000.
Right.
600,000, I think, was the most cost-effective unit I saw on MLS last week.
But what kind of size is that? Is that just for like
that's a tear down?
Oh, okay.
It's a tear down. So, Brentwood, I was looking at Williamson County. I think their average house price is $627 right now.
Okay.
But that's getting something, very minimal. So Davidson County is actually more affordable because of all the different types of housing we have. So a lot of people are flocking to I would say Creve Hall, Bellevue, and the Nations for affordable pricing.
Okay, so explain describe, I guess is a better word. Describe some of the different types of homes that are available or that are becoming more popular. So I know for sure I've heard about these high rises that are I want to say I've heard like, I want to say 16 more are coming and are about to be thrown up, downtown. And then, of course, you still have you've got your apartments, you've got your duplexes, townhomes,
HPRs.
These places that they make look like cottages or where they have kind of their own little neighborhood within them. So kind of describe what some of those are and what some of the, I guess, advantages and disadvantages could be depending on what they choose.
So I have a mid-rise affordable luxury building that I have listed over on Olympic and 8th Avenue called Alina, and it's 50 units. And the price point in there is between $299 and $499. It's all 1 bedrooms, 1 baths. Wow. So it's a really big range. And why it's a big range, even though they're all 1 bedrooms and 1 baths and similar size, with buildings, price is really, it's about position. It's like, do they have a view? What floor are they on? So that's really what matters in buildings. I think one thing you have to think about if you're going to get in a building is HOAs. What is my HOA fee? Because every building's going to have an HOA fee.
Describe to some people, they might not be familiar with what a HOA is. What is that?
It's a homeowners association.
Okay.
And it is where you basically pay in for future repairs or common space areas.
Right.
So, for example, Alina is 39 cents a square foot. So for, one that's 735 square feet, you're looking at $280 extra a month. But that's going to cover the exterior of the building, your insurance on the exterior, all of your common spaces. This particular building has like a Peloton studio. So instead of having to join a gym, you would have access to that, a rooftop deck, an owner's lounge, parking that is secure and reserved. And then you've got buildings like the Four Seasons that are stunning.
I've heard about there.
You've got a $25 million penthouse. And the HOA fees there, I think, are up to $1.75 a square foot.
Wow!
And you've got Broadwest, which is coming. That is going to be incredible, and they have 24-hour concierge, valet. You can order room service. You can have the cleaning staff come clean your unit while you're using the pool. So
everything pretty much just at your fingertips.
At your fingertips.
Wow. Now, I think one of the things to keep in mind with the Homeowners Association, especially for new-time home buyers, is making sure that they're aware, even once you've paid that mortgage off, you've still got that Homeowners Association. It doesn't go away.
True.
So some people, I think they don't really understand that, and they're thinking that they're done. Like, no, you're still going to have something that you'll continue to pay. So, yeah.
And I think it's really important for buyers just to ask questions. Make sure you ask your realtor everything. There's no stupid questions, period. If you're not doing this every day, you can do this 2 and 3 times in your life and still not remember how you did it the first time.
Right.
So it's important just to ask as many questions.
Yeah, because for the average person, there's a large time gap between when you do it. So, yes, that makes sense. So I guess if there are people that are interested in a home, what are some of the factors that you think that they need to pay close attention to, when they're trying to decide? I think I've heard several times that buyers like to look for the kitchen, the bathroom, so it's some standard things. So kind of describe what some of those are, or what some of the things that they might not be thinking about that they might need to.
Of course, kitchen, bathrooms. I think yard. Do you have an animal? Do you have kids? Are they going to be outside? Do you need a fenced yard? How old are your kids? Will they be playing in the backyard? Does it need to be fenced? Also, master on the main, is this your last stop?
Right.
Are you going to age in this home?
Right.
Do you mind walking upstairs to go to your bedroom? Quick glances of the roof when you're looking outside, there's so many. factors. There are so many factors.
Yeah,
but,
so it's so funny because I pay a lot of attention to the roofs now. Like literally the types of shingles, you can tell ones that are well made and that are thicker and just you could
an architectural shingle versus just a 3-tab asphalt.
Something that's going to be ready to be replaced within a shorter amount of time versus you can tell the ones that they paid a little bit more and it's going to last. So that makes total sense to me. Also the yard, I do think that that's important, and the stairs. Like you said, if you're planning on retiring and staying there forever, is that going to make sense to have stuff up there that you might not want or be able to get to later?
Are you in a flood zone? Nashville has a lot of properties in a flood zone. So the first thing I always look at for my client is to see if the property that they love is in a flood zone. Because if not, you're going to have to purchase flood insurance. And that is not a one-time payment either. That's a yearly payment. So it can be very expensive. And always having a home inspection, even if it's not contingent upon the home inspection, you having that home inspection as a buyer to know what's going on with the house. You know, because I'm not a professional, even though I'm kind of looking for things.
Right.
I'm not a professional when it comes to those things. So hiring the right professionals to tell you what's going on with the house before you purchase.
So is that one of those instances where, because I know you talked about foregoing some things. So would that be in question of whether or not they're able to take the time to get a inspection or say, hey, it would need to meet these qualifications before I would be ready to purchase? Or are they kind of being pushed to like, just go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to get it and hope and pray that
it works out
the best?
I've only written one contract lately that we didn't do a pass fail. We didn't do anything, but it was new construction.
Okay.
So with new construction, you get a blue tape walkthrough. And so the builder, you'll meet the builder's agent or the builder, and you'll walk around and see little things that you see, like chipped paint or, anything you see that's going on that you don't like. A cabinet's not closing correctly. You'll walk through and do a blue tape walkthrough with that builder, and they will fix those things for you and make everything perfect before. That's why I love new construction. And they also give a 1-year warranty. So if anything fails over the course of the first year that you're living there, you don't have to worry about it. The builder will fix it. So we did forego an inspection with that. But pass fail is really all I'm comfortable with for my clients.
Gotcha. And have you ever suggested that people get I know that they're able to purchase outside of, what they did for the house, an extended warranty, or do you feel like that's common? Do people typically need to use that once they purchased it?
If I'm writing a contract for a buyer, I always include it in our offer. And, they can say yes or no. They can counter they're not going to do it. But I think it's just nice. It's nice to have, that peace of mind for people. Right. Because things fail.
They do. And I have several friends that are in the process of, either looking for homes or just trying to get prepared, in order to purchase homes. And I can remember when I had purchased my first one and I did get that warranty, and lo and behold, the central heat and air conditioner went out. And back in those days, I could not have paid to get that fixed if I hadn't had it. So that's why I was asking. I was just curious.
They're nice.
I didn't know if it was just periodically or if that just really kind of is kind of a buffer just to make sure you're kind of taken care of.
We always ask for it. And sometimes I give it as a gift if we don't get it in the offer. So
yeah, that's great. So I'm gonna shift gears just a little bit. I just kind of want to hear a little bit more about you and about your experiences in Nashville. And it can be some of it can definitely be real estate related, but just kind of give me, like you said, from you, the time that you've moved here, you've been here 4 years?
4 years.
4 years. So what are some of the things that you like doing or that you find here? Because I think a lot of people, they just aren't aware of a lot of things that are going on. Because even for somebody like me, that I venture out quite a bit, but everything is changing rapidly. Yeah. So are there some things that you like?
Well, I love to eat. So I eat my way through this town. What I love is it's always changing, like you said. And, I think, I'm going to run out of places to go. You never run out of places here. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's become a foodie town. And I always say that's my last vice is food. So our restaurant's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Music, of course, live music starting to open up again. My daughter's playing at the City Winery this afternoon, so I'm going to head there.
Stop,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Yeah, it's fun. So she's going to be singing today, and I'll get to go watch her do that. And then my kids, they keep me busy, like I said with her. And then my son plays lacrosse, so I'm always on a field somewhere watching him. But really, our parks are great. I love Percy Warner. I love Radnor. We do a lot of that. I'm a huge yogi. I go to Fahrenheit Yoga Studio and love that place.
Yeah.
Just getting out and feeling all the energy again. Walking down 12 South, being in the Gulch, spending your afternoon doing nothing but walking around and window shopping is great. So.
Yes. Now, I know you mentioned some nature earlier from when you were in East Tennessee. Now, there are some things we do have. I feel like we have a decent amount of nature here. There's also some things that aren't too far away. So I'm not sure. Have you ever visited like Machine Falls or there's Arrington Vineyard?
Yes.
There's several places that a little day trip and you're
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Okay.
It's fantastic. I've done a lot of that. And East Tennessee's not too far either.
It's not.
So,
you're right.
It's a hop, skip, and a jump. I was in Memphis yesterday, watching my son play lacrosse. So I do love where we are positioned in the state,
Yeah.
being
able to
get around.
Get around.
And as far as growth too, we don't have mountains that surround us. We don't have bodies of water. So the potential for growth in Nashville is endless. Compared to a lot of cities.
You're right. You're right. I can definitely see it pushing out, it's starting to come up now in the middle.
Yeah.
But and it will continue, I'm sure, to start to push out. So I guess just if you can tell me just a little bit more about your company.
Okay.
Or like if people are interested in finding out more about you or what you all do, where can they go to find out information and things like that?
Okay, great. So we have a website, Morrell Property Collective. And it shows everything that's on the MLS. So it's a great place to search for homes. Okay. It's also a place that we can communicate with each other. You can say, hey, tell me about this house. And I can literally answer a question right there.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So MorrellPropertyCollective.com. Russell and I just started out, the two of us, and we just thought, wouldn't it be great to teach other people how to do this and become successful at it? And it just happened organically. I had some people kind of seek us out and the timing was right and we needed the help and we were ready to teach. And so that's really how it was formed.
Yeah. I love it when people are willing to kind of pour back in or, it's almost like a mentorship type role. But everybody, I feel like everybody kind of needs that. Somebody just to kind of help you kind of navigate.
Absolutely.
So with your company, I know you talked about some of the new team members that you've got on board and kind of how you've got things broken up. And I absolutely love that. So do you think you're good for now as far as growth wise, or, as things continue to grow and evolve, you'll just continue to evaluate when's the next time that you feel like, hey, we might need another team member?
I'm going to add 2 more.
Wow.
And then I'm done.
Okay.
I say that and then that'll change too.
Right.
But, I'm going to I have 2 more coming up in the pipeline.
Okay. And real quick, was there anything else that you would like to share with people?
Just the Nashville market is hot. Get in now and please, let us know if we can help you in any way. I would love to help, whoever's interested. And thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much for coming on, Katie. Like you said, Nashville is hot. I've been telling people for some years, I'm like, we're the it city. I'm like, you all need to get prepared. Now, myself, even though I knew something was coming, I didn't quite understand the magnitude of how quickly everything would change. So that part is kind of new, but we're in it, and I'm loving it. So thank you again for coming on. Thank you all for tuning in today to D-ConneXion TV, and we will catch you next time. Thank you.